forgot I actually did like that one. No, yeah, time for one more. Subdivide. I saw eight no trail. That's what I was like. 51 right now. Probably stop a few minutes before.
Yeah. What's our plans?
Shepherd's egg. Fine. Do you want to do anything else from the little speech? The little symphony? No. I guess. I mean, we can. I don't like it enough to fight for it if someone else doesn't want to do it. You know? We could play hornpipe. From the water music. Oh, there she is.
I found hornpipe.
Whatever.
I'm ready to pipe the horn and feed you.
Wait, there's a DC. If I can handle that one.
Maybe we just play it straight down and just like DC.
I don't see a DC. I just see teenage.
I don't see a DC.
I'll probably signal you guys when we start.
Kristen said she was gonna wave at us.
She's like taking all my tests.
Oh, sorry. As long as the signal too, we'll agree also.
All the help we can need.
And you'll be at that point. Okay, so I'll be. Exactly. Okay, alright. Do you want us to play anything else before that?
I think normally they kind of switch over.
Right, okay. Some good old sheep safely grazing, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Hornpipe is good. Do we decide no to shepherd's egg?
Yeah, please
I
don't.
guess. We can do trumpet voluntary.
I don't want to make it sound that bad.
What about trumpet voluntary?
Oh, from voluntary is totally fine. We can do that.
I don't think I have this.
And this is
It's my favorite one.
not
It's so
voluntary,
sad.
right? There's two
Yeah.
different things going on.
Prince of Denmark's march. Yeah.
Oh, dude, see Denmark's
There it
one?
is.
Is that a better?
Oh, yay.
No, Denmark.
Really exciting.
Copenhagen, so- I want to go to Copenhagen.
All right. All right. We're all on the trumpet voluntary, right? Yes. Not the other one. The choir.
Will the audience please stand for the Wingwalker ROTC group to post the colors and the playing of the national anthem?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Thank you. Well, good morning and welcome, everyone. A beautiful Colorado day. My name is Mark Stetter, and I have the honor and privilege of being the Dean for the College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences here at Colorado State University. A quick reminder, if you haven't done so already, please turn those cell phones off. If you would, please join me in a round of applause for our CSU Brass Ensemble and our soloist, Delaney Leffel, who's a recent alum. So today we recognize and we celebrate the accomplishments of these wonderful graduates, but the accomplishments of this magnitude are never done alone, and so we do so as a group. We recognize these graduates as families, as friends, faculty, and staff who have all helped make today possible. We're so pleased that you are able to join us today. We thank you for making the time, and we know you've traveled many, many miles, in some cases from all over the world, to join us today. We would like to begin the ceremony with an acknowledgement of the origins of the land of our university in which it was built upon. Colorado State University acknowledges with respect that the land we are on today is the traditional and ancestral homelands of the Arapaho, the Cheyenne, and the Ute nations and people. This was also the site of trade and gathering and the healing for numerous other native tribes. We recognize the indigenous peoples as original stewards of this land and all the relatives within it. As these words of acknowledgement are spoken and heard, the ties of these nations and to their traditional homelands are renewed and reaffirmed. CSU is founded as a land-grant institution, and we accept that our mission must encompass access to education and inclusion, and significantly that our founding came at the dire cost of Native nations and the peoples whose lands this university was built upon. This acknowledgement is the education and inclusion we must practice in recognizing our institutional history, responsibility, and commitment. So let me now introduce the folks that are joining me on the platform who are going to play an integral role in today's ceremony. I'm going to ask that as each name is called, they stand, and I'm going to ask that everybody in the audience hold your applause until everybody has been introduced. Let me start with Dr. Lou Swanson, who's our Vice President of Engagement and Director of Extension. Dr. Sandra Krakenbush, who's the Associate Dean for our Academic and Student Affairs. Dr. Colin Clay, who's a Professor and Head of Biomedical Sciences. Dr. Jack Nikoloff, who's a Professor and Head of Environmental and Radiological Health Sciences. Dr. Greg Dean, who's Professor and Head of Microbiology, Immunology, and Pathology. Dr. Carol Seeger, who's Professor and Director of Molecular, Cellular, and Integrative Neuroscience. Dr. Quint Winger, who's Associate Professor and Associate Head for Biomedical Sciences. Dr. Judy Heiderscheit, who's Associate Professor and Associate Head for Environmental Health. And Dr. Jennifer McLean, who's Associate Professor and Head of Microbiology, Immunology, and Pathology. And Dr. Phil Quirk, who's Assistant Professor and Director of our Undergraduate Neuroscience Program. Thank you for joining us today. It is now my pleasure to introduce Beth Plentzel, who's a graduate in environmental health, who has been selected by her student peers to give the student remarks today.
Good morning, Rams. How are we doing? Good. Okay. So, one of my favorite songs to listen to when I was younger was Stay Gold by Stevie Wonder. The first verse states that, seize upon the moment of long ago, one breath away and there you will be, so young and carefree. Again you will see that place in time, so gold. You don't ever realize in the moment that golden times are gold, do you? You never understand how good it is until it's over. We go through these things as individuals, as the seasons of life. It is a feeling. You don't realize it while you're in it, but we are always in a season of some sort. College was a season. Each semester was a new experience that no one could predict. I could not predict while in organic chemistry lab that my Erlenmeyer flask would explode into a billion pieces, affecting not only my emotional state, but my lab partner, who looked at me with disappointment for the rest of the semester. I will never forget the top of the floor of Yates, and a big thank you to the fire department for assisting me in one of my darkest moments as an undergraduate. I could as well not predict the possibility of failing organic chemistry was right on the horizon. I could also not predict the friendships I would make from this class, the similarities of not being able to grasp an acetylene condensation. The beautiful, sad, and anxiety-induced reality is that you will never get to relive these seasons. They are so incredibly specific to who you are around, what state of mind you're in. And I read this quote once that most humans are never fully present in the now because unconsciously they believe that the next moment must be more important than this one. But then you miss your whole life, which is never not now. This is life. They say nothing gold can stay, but I don't think that's true. You'll always be saying goodbye to phases of life. We are saying goodbye to being an undergraduate. Those moments will fade, but with that brings a new, shiny, golden season right to your door. It is true that it ends. College ends. But if you are always aware of life as it is happening, if you are always fully present in the now, you can stay golden forever. Go Rams.
Thank you, Beth. Hello, good morning. My name is Sandy Quackenbush, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Associate Dean for Academic and Student Affairs. We are very proud to be here today celebrating with our graduates as they make the transition away from the university and into the world. You will see that we have an incredibly impressive graduating class. Our students came to CSU from all over the country, California to Georgia, Minnesota to Texas, and everything in between, including our homegrown Colorado students. This semester, we also have a large group of our international students graduating, joining us from China, Kenya, Sweden, Ethiopia, and Japan. We also have 36 of our graduates that are first-generation students. A first-generation college student is one who is the first in their family to attend a university. A critical part of our land-grant mission is to provide access to education and to help ensure our community has the opportunity for college education. The success of our first-generation students in our college and at our university is a point of pride for all of us. We would also like to acknowledge those joining us today that have served our great nation. At this time, we would like to ask that all former and current members of the U.S. Armed Forces in the audience stand and be recognized. Thank you for your service to this great nation. It is a special treat to recognize students who are graduating with distinctions and honors. For students being honored, please stand as I call your name and remain standing until all your colleagues in all categories are introduced. I ask that the audience members hold your applause until all have been recognized and are standing. Let me first start with students graduating with the highest distinction based upon their cumulative grade point average. Summa cum laude graduates are the top 1% of the class. Magna cum laude graduates are the next 3% of the class. And cum laude graduates are the next 6% of the class. These graduates may be wearing gold bachelor's regalia. Ben Fixman. Stand when I call your name. Where's Ben? There he is. Okay, thank you, Ben. Hannah Haberek, Catherine Havar, Emily Lee, and Mancy Lee are graduating summa cum laude. Natalie Bales, Katie Brown, Kendra Delaney, Andrew Eibling, Coral Isaacs, Brianna Jett, Emily Kingston, McLean Panshin, Michael Stinnett, and Sarah Stisher are graduating magna cum laude. Aya Ahmad, Alex Bickett, Brendan Bellata, Jordan Dunlop, Jonas Fast, Grant Haley, Linnea Johnson, Gabriella Labazzo, Hannah Patterson, Case Rogers, London Schaefer, Wyatt Spresser, Jordan Tarbutton, Andrea Thorpe, Tara Vijay Ansarathi, and Ariel Way are graduating cum laude. Candidates graduating as honors scholars or disciplinary honors scholars must complete the honors program course requirements and a thesis while maintaining a cumulative overall 3.5 GPA. These students may be wearing green bachelor's regalia. Students, please stand as a group and be recognized as candidates for graduation as honors scholars. These students will be recognized individually as they walk across the stage to receive their diploma. Please. Okay. Please be seated. Thank you very much and congratulations. The college is particularly proud to recognize outstanding graduates in all 4 of our programs. Each graduating term, departmental faculty evaluate all graduates to determine if a student has risen through achievements and promise to the level of an outstanding graduate. This is an honor of the highest order and one that may not be bestowed every graduating term. Outstanding seniors are selected based on their high academic achievement and leadership, participation in activities at the university, college, and department levels, as well as service, experiential learning, extracurricular activity, and volunteer activities both within and outside the university. While many of our graduates today show extraordinary aptitude, our departmental faculty identified 4 students that best embody these values. I ask that Professors Quint Winger, Judy Heiderscheid, Jennifer McLean, and Philip Quirk join me to present each of the awards from the departments. Will the following students please come forward to be recognized? Hannah Haberek for Biomedical Sciences. Coral Isaacs for Environmental Health. Kimmy Yee for Microbiology. And Ben Fixman for Neuroscience. Thank you, Professors Winger, Heiderscheid, McLean, and Quirk. Congratulations to each of you, Hannah, Coral, Kimmy, and Ben, on your outstanding undergraduate careers and this award for excellence. I trust that it will be one of many professional accolades to follow. Dr. Swanson, it is my pleasure to confirm that each of these students has completed the degree requirements for their program of study and have been recommended by the faculty members in that discipline to receive their academic degree.
So graduates, I'm a little shorter. So the graduates, please rise. So by the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors of Colorado State University System, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Science with all of the rights, privileges, obligations, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. So everybody, guests, please applause our new graduates. So graduates, you can be seated.
Thank you, graduates. Congratulations. Will our commencement marshals, Chase Weldon and Kristen Brown, please escort the graduates to the platform. This spring, we are honored to have faculty members nominated by their respective departments to read the student names as they cross the stage to receive their diplomas. We're joined by Dr. Christiane McGee for Biomedical Sciences, Dr. Marie Laguerre for Environmental Health, Mr. Pete Justice for Microbiology, and Dr. Leslie Stone Roy on behalf of Neuroscience. Each of these individuals will read statements about the graduates as they cross the stage. So please hold your applause until all graduates from the department have been recognized.
The following graduates of the Department of Biomedical Sciences will be greeted by the department head, Dr. Colin Clay, and associate department head, Dr. Quint Winger. Congratulations will be offered by college and university officials. I'm not tall enough either. By the way, Dr. Colin Clay and Dr. Quint Winger will be congratulating them as well as other university officials in case you didn't catch it the first time. Michael Stinnett of Colorado Springs volunteered with CSU's K-12 Anatomy Outreach Program, obtained his EMT license, and worked as a camp director in the mountains of New Mexico. After graduation, he plans to gain experience as an emergency room technician before applying to medical schools. Michelle Stinnett of Colorado Springs worked for CSU's Ramride, was an active member of the National Society for Collegiate Scholars, and worked at Brookdale Assisted Living. Michelle will work as a camp director at Philmont Scout Ranch before pursuing employment in clinical research. Tommy Kale of Denver conducted research and translational research on aging and chronic disease laboratory. He interned at New Ability, an adaptive exercise and integrative therapies facility, and worked at Littleton Adventist Hospital. Tommy plans to work a few years before pursuing further education. Hannah Patterson of Sugar Land, Texas, volunteered with Waller Equine Hospital in Texas, interned at Haggard Equine Medical Institute in Kentucky, and went skydiving for the first time. Hannah will attend CSU's veterinary school. Kendra Delaney of Greenwood Village, Colorado, worked as a teaching assistant, served as executive vice president for the National Society of Collegiate Scholars, and interned as a veterinary nurse in Australia. Kendra will attend veterinary school at Auburn University in Alabama. Rachel Ann Reichman of Castle Pines, Colorado, worked as a CNA at a skilled nursing facility, studied abroad through semester at sea, and completed a medical internship in Thailand. Rachel plans to gain work experience before applying to physician assistant school. Emily Lee of Castle Rock conducted research in biomaterials engineering and synthetic organic chemistry. She was president of CSU's pre-dental club and interned at an oral and maxillofacial surgery clinic. Emily will attend dental school at the University of Colorado this fall. Jordan Nelson of Sterling, Colorado was involved in anatomy outreach activities, founded a new club on campus for pre-med and pre-vet students, and worked in the Human Virtual Reality Anatomy Lab. Jordan will continue working with the Virtual Reality Lab while applying to medical schools. Kara Marie Hines-Ike of Littleton worked at CSU's Collaborative for Student Achievement, volunteered at Medical Center of the Rockies, and studied abroad in Spain. After graduation, Kara will work as a medical assistant while applying for physician assistant school. Wyatt Spresser of Monument, Colorado, worked as an organic chemistry tutor for 2 years and was an avid volunteer with the Colorado Mission of Mercy. After graduation, Wyatt will attend the University of Michigan School of Dentistry. Sally Stover of Frisco, Colorado, served as an orientation leader, led an alternative spring break trip to Portland, and conducted research in Dr. Honda's lab. After graduation, Sally will enter the medical laboratory science program at Metropolitan State University in Denver. Caroline Montgomery of Littleton is a member of Kappa Alpha Theta fraternity, studied abroad in Spain, and conducted research on lipid metabolomics of flavivirus infection. Caroline will take time off to travel before pursuing a physician assistant school. Jordan Delaney Tarbutton of Castle Rock was president of Pre-Vet Club and CVMBS College Council. She worked at an emergency vet clinic and volunteered to teach anatomy and physiology in Fort Collins and Mexico. Jordan will attend veterinary school at CSU this fall. Hannah Haberecht of Fort Collins tutored organic chemistry and was the lead chemistry tutor. She conducted research under Dr. Ryan and published as a first author paper. She participated in anatomy and physiology outreach, and after graduation, Hannah plans to attend medical school. Ashley Judkins of Westminster served as the public representative for National Society of Collegiate Scholars, interned in India with veterinarians from all over the world, and volunteered at Animal Rescue of the Rockies. Ashley will pursue a master's degree in public health. Victoria Lee of Los Alamos, New Mexico enjoyed rock climbing and skiing and worked in animal care for CSU's research labs. After graduation, Victoria will work at a diagnostic lab for Banner Health before pursuing a master's degree in epidemiology. Madison Ray Angstrom of Evergreen served as a leader for Organization of Young Life, volunteered in the emergency department at Colorado Medical Center of the Rockies, and conducted research in cancer radiation biology. Madison will gain work experience before applying to medical school. Brendan Bellotta of Fort Collins volunteered in the emergency department at Poudre Valley Hospital and worked at Raintree Athletic Club and Spring Creek Healthcare. Brendan is pursuing further education to become an anesthesiologist assistant. Mansi Lee of Beijing, China researched chronic wasting disease in the Hoover Lab and became great friends with her lab peers, who joined her to conquer her first 14er. Mansi is headed to the University of Minnesota for the DVM PhD program. Sarah Christine Cooper of Eagle, Colorado researched chronic wasting disease in CSU's Prion Research Center, presented her research at professional meetings, and wrote her first manuscript. After graduation, Sarah will pursue her PhD in microbiology here at CSU. Lane B.U. of Broomfield was a member of CSU's triathlon team, worked as a technician at Molnick's Animal Clinic, and volunteered in livestock at CSU's Vet Hospital. After graduation, Lane plans to become a mixed animal veterinarian. Benjamin Alexander Glass of Midland, Texas, had the privilege to dissect a human cadaver for anatomy class, volunteered as a musician for 4 churches in northern Colorado, and made great friends along the way. Ben will be a touring and session musician in Nashville. Erica Merhoff of Louisville, Colorado, worked in Dr. Honda's neuroendocrinology lab, interned at a biotech company, and was a member of the Tri Beta Honors Society and the Biomedical Science Student Association. Erica will gain more work experience before applying to graduate school. Emma Gong Parent of Lafayette, Colorado, was involved with the Biomedical Student Association, CVMBS College Council, and the University Facility Fee Advisory Board, and worked as a surgical assistant at Fort Collins Cat Rescue. Emma will pursue a master's in microbiology at Thomas Jefferson University. Samantha Key of Highlands Ranch gained research experience in the Animal Nutrition Lab, volunteered at the Fort Collins Cat Rescue, and worked at Pets Emergency Hospital. After graduation, Samantha will attend CSU Veterinary School this fall. Aurora Rosalie Talbot of Oak Park, Illinois, served as a vice president of Queen, an LGBT group on campus, volunteered at the Humane Society in St. Thomas, and apprenticed at the Lawrence Humane Society in Kansas. Aurora will attend veterinary school in London, England. Caitlin Brown of Conifer conducted research on antibiotic resistance, volunteered with the K-12 Human Anatomy Outreach Program, and worked as a peer mentor and advisor. Caitlin will take a year off to work and travel before applying to medical schools. Mackenzie Jean Louise Bigler of Windsor participated in the History Club, worked on her honors thesis, and was a group fitness instructor at CSU's Rec Center for 3 years. After graduation, Mackenzie plans to pursue a career in reproductive medicine. Jonas Fast of Greeley worked as a medical scribe at Anschutz UC Health and Good Samaritan Medical Center. He had a medical internship in Guatemala and was involved in Navigator's campus ministry. Jonas is getting married next month and will apply to medical school. Isabel Brown of Evergreen conducted research, served as a senator and speaker for the Senate for CSU Student Government, and interned for the U.S. Senate and White House. Isabel will attend Georgetown University for a master's degree in biomedical sciences policy and advocacy. Amanda Lynn Gerain of San Clemente, California, is a member of Gamma Phi Beta sorority, studied abroad in Florence, Italy, and obtained a phlebotomist certification. Amanda will work as a phlebotomist and medical assistant while applying to graduate schools. Andrew P. Eibling of Conifer worked in the Cheyenne Regional Medical Center emergency room as a medical scribe and was treasurer and team captain of CSU's cycling mountain bike team. After graduation, Andrew plans to attend medical school. London Schaefer of Fort Collins served as an anatomy camp counselor, worked as a medical scribe, and completed a sprint triathlon. London will complete a post-baccalaureate program at Temple University in Pennsylvania, with matriculation into medical school the following year. Caitlin Amber Martin of Greeley worked as a cashier at King Soopers, volunteered at the Northern Colorado Medical Center, and was a tutor for the Academic Achievement Center. After graduation, Caitlin plans to conduct biomedical research or work in a medical laboratory. Jillian Whitaker of Morrison worked at CSU's Rec Center as a lifeguard, enjoyed intramural inter-tube water polo, and volunteered at an animal rescue center in Costa Rica. After graduation, Jillian plans to pursue full-time employment conducting science research. Kyle Alexander Depperschmidt of Loveland enjoyed studying the Japanese language for 2 years, gained valuable research experience under Dr. Stoneroy, and worked many hours at Dasbog Coffee Shop. Kyle plans to pursue a career in biotechnology or pharmacology. Michael Johnson of Highlands Ranch played a various number of CSU's intramural sports while enjoying and working with children. He made incredible friends along the way, and after graduation, Michael will work as an EMT while applying to physician assistant school. Connor Weath of Monument, Colorado won first and second place in 2 powerlifting competitions, traveled to Todos Santos, Mexico to teach anatomy, and completed an honors senior thesis. Connor will attend physical therapy school at Regis University this fall. Mackenzie Howard of Fort Collins was a proud participant in the university's honors program and the president's leadership program and worked as an ophthalmologic assistant. Mackenzie will continue working at the Eye and Laser Center of Fort Collins while applying to optometry school. Emily Kingston of Burnett, Texas was a member of CSU's horse judging team, interned as a veterinary technician at Tabby Road Animal Hospital, and played the cello for 2 local orchestras. After graduation, Emily will be attending Texas A&M's veterinary school. Claire Frances Landwehr of Colorado Springs spent 3 summers performing and traveling with competitive drum and bugle corps. After graduation, Claire will attend CSU's veterinary school this fall with the goal of practicing rural veterinary medicine. Emily Ann Crease of Littleton volunteered in a neuroendocrinology lab, interned at the Barbara Davis Center for Childhood Diabetes in Aurora, and worked at American Diabetes Association camps. Emily will work as an EMT before applying to physician assistant school. Jacqueline Lace Francescati of Arvada worked as a dance teacher, earned her EMT certificate, and volunteered with UC Health Reserves. She also shadowed physicians at local hospitals. After graduation, Jacqueline plans to earn a master's degree in cardiovascular sciences. Jessica Ann Miller of Arvada served as a RAM welcome leader, completed her senior honors thesis on canine vaccines, was captain of several intramural volleyball teams, and studied abroad in China. Jessica hopes to attend graduate school at CSU. Kayla Heeman of Everett, Washington worked as a medical scribe, volunteered at the UC Health Cancer Center, was president of CSU's Wellness Club, and played on the CSU Club volleyball team. Kayla will pursue medical school in the hopes of becoming an oncologist. Jack Helfrich of Denver conducted research in the Honda Lab, served as president of the CSU chapter of Golden Key Honor Society, and worked as a physical therapy aide. Jack plans to pursue a nursing degree and work in emergency medicine. Alana Kim of Las Vegas gained experience as a research assistant in the infectious disease annex, worked as a resident assistant in Academic Village for 3 years, and completed the honors program. After graduation, Alana will attend physician assistant school. Jessica Lundy of Centennial served on 2 medical mission trips to Nicaragua, worked as a scribe at Poudre Valley Hospital and Medical Center of the Rockies, and worked in Dr. Buma's research laboratory. After graduation, Jessica will apply to medical school. Lauren Bowen of Thornton studied abroad in Ireland, worked as a certified nursing assistant and a barista, and volunteered at an elephant sanctuary in Thailand. Lauren will attend nursing school in Denver and hopes to become a nurse practitioner. Jane Zuccolillo of Durango worked at CSU Health Network Pharmacy, volunteered with Parkinson's patients in a music therapy class, and proudly hiked all 500 miles of the Colorado Trail. Jane will take a year off from school before pursuing a master's degree. Kaylee Ann Hermson of Aurora worked in the Biomedical Sciences Department office, interned with a local pediatric physical therapy clinic, and worked at one of the top horse hunter-jumper stables in Colorado. Kaylee plans to apply to physical therapy programs. Kayla Elizabeth Browning of Highlands Ranch worked as a home healthcare nursing assistant, competed in 2 bodybuilding competitions, and traveled to over 10 different countries. Kayla will continue her education at the CSU Biomedical Sciences Professional Master's Program. Catherine Isabel Haver of Pueblo worked for Rebound Physical Therapy, was a building manager for the Laurie Student Center, and competed with the CSU triathlon team. After graduation, Catherine plans to attend physician assistant school with a focus in neurology. Sarah Elizabeth Reed of Oakland, New Jersey, worked in project management at the Infectious Disease Research Center, worked at the library help desk, and worked in Dr. Marish's lab as a hyperbaric chamber technician. Sarah will continue to gain research experience before pursuing graduate school. Brianna Jett of Shreveport, Louisiana, co-authored 2 publications through the McNally Lab, served as a teaching assistant for organic chemistry, and practices the martial art Aikido. Brianna will pursue a PhD in organic chemistry at the University of Michigan. Alexis Renee Ellis of Colorado Springs worked as a teaching assistant for physiology and was a trainer at Texas Roadhouse Restaurant. After graduation, Alexis plans to gain work experience in healthcare before applying to medical school. Tara Vijaya Sarathi of Windsor, Colorado, was a triple jumper on CSU's track and field team, conducted research in Dr. Montgomery's lab, and completed an honors senior thesis. Tara will take a year off to gain work experience before applying to MD PhD programs. Lauren Scott of Olathe, Texas, worked at CSU's Equine Orthopedic Research Center and interned at Haggard Equine Medical Institute in Kentucky. Lauren will attend veterinary school at CSU this fall. Cameron Scott Lynch of Kiowa, Colorado, worked as a research assistant in the Animal Reproduction Lab, served as an alternative spring break leader, and was a 2-time inflatable water polo champion. Cameron will obtain his master's in biomedical sciences before pursuing veterinary school. Please join me once again in congratulating all of our BMS graduates.
Okay, the following graduates of the Department of Environmental and Radiological Health Sciences will be greeted by Department Head Dr. Jack Nikoloff, Associate Department Head Judy Heiderscheit. Congratulations will be offered as well by college and university officials. Allie Brem of St. Louis, Missouri, worked at the Prion Research Center, won a national championship in women's club lacrosse, and was a member of Alpha Phi Omega and Pi Beta Phi. After graduation, Allie hopes to complete a PhD in experimental pathology. Thanks. Zaichen Wan of Canton, China, was a transfer student from South China Normal University, conducted epidemiological research in China, and had an article published. After graduation, Zichen will attend the Master of Public Health program at the University of California, Irvine. Hao Tian Tsai of Huhat City, China, traveled and studied in the US for the first time and crossed the language barrier. Hao Tian will attend graduate school in environmental engineering and pursue research. Devin Devers of Watford City, North Dakota, raised a beautiful daughter while putting herself through school, was president of the Environmental Health Student Association, and attended various student conferences. Devin will gain experience as a health and safety professional before pursuing industrial hygienist certification. Casey Marshall Blosser of Fort Collins worked a variety of jobs throughout his schooling and completed his internship with the City of Fort Collins Water Utilities Division. Casey plans to attend graduate school and is currently pursuing a career in environmental consulting. All right. Yep. Jack O'Leary of Cheyenne, Wyoming, made great friends and gained lab experience during his time here at CSU. After graduation, Jack will seek an internship in the environmental health field. Catherine Jane McQueen of Centennial, interned at YMCA of the Rockies in Estes Park, was in marching band for 4 years, and captain of the color guard. And she volunteered for CSU's fall cleanup event. After graduation, Catherine will pursue her Master's of Public Health degree. All right, that's it. Morgan Nicole Sullivan of Westminster worked in the College of Engineering, studied abroad in Spain, and interned for CSU's Environmental Health and Safety Department. After graduation, Morgan plans to teach English in Spain for 1 year before pursuing a career in water quality. Caitlin Workman of Buena Vista was a manager at Morgan's Grind Cafe in CSU's Morgan Library and spent her summers employed as a rafting guide in Vail. After graduation, Caitlin will complete an internship with Oakland County in Michigan as a student sanitarian. Eric Monahan of Longmont summited 35 of Colorado's 14 footers, spent his summers traveling around the country, 14,000, sorry about that. I haven't done one, but he also interned at the Fort Collins Water Treatment Facility. Eric will pursue a career in industrial hygiene with a focus in health and safety. Sarah Hanneman of Reno, Nevada, participated in undergraduate research, gained valuable leadership skills as an outdoor program instructor, studied abroad in India, and completed her EMT and wilderness EMT certifications. Sarah plans to pursue a Master's of Public Health degree. Ready? Okay. Emily Ann Porterreyes of Fort Collins worked at a nursing home, contributed to Larimer County's new health education curriculum, and worked as a resident assistant. Emily plans to attend medical school and continue smiling at all that life has to offer. Coral Isaacs of Anchorage, Alaska, conducted research on respiratory health, volunteered for anatomy and physiology programs, and enjoyed rock climbing. After graduation, Coral plans to obtain a dual physician's assistant and Master's of Public Health degree. Ready? Zachary Freebrand of Glendale, Arizona, double majored in environmental health and neuroscience, interned at the Environmental Protection Agency in Washington, D.C., and completed a thesis studying the neuroscience of mindfulness meditation. Zachary will work in public health before starting graduate school. Beth Plentel of Colorado Springs was a Division I athlete and represented the university in women's soccer, served as a tutor for Physics 1 and 2, and worked at an engineering firm for asbestos and demolition. Beth plans to continue her education within the medical field. Please join me in congratulating our environmental health graduates.
The following graduates in the Department of Microbiology, Immunology, and Pathology will be greeted by Department Head Dr. Greg Dean and Associate Department Head Dr. Jennifer McLean. Congratulations will be offered by college and university officials. Chihua Kimi Ye of Canton, China, was recipient of the CSU Global Partnership Scholarship, conducted research in the Ordway Lab, and served as an orientation leader and college student ambassador. Kimmy will attend Harvard Medical School for graduate studies in immunology. Ariel Haomao of Chengdu, China, worked in the Podell Lab, CSU Bookstore, and Academic Village Dining Hall, and also volunteered with the Larimer Humane Society and CSU Full Care Team. Ariel plans to pursue wildlife veterinary medicine. Xu Meng of Hefei, China, conducted research in the Prion Research China Center and enjoyed reading and watching movies. Xu will enter the pharmacology PhD program in the University of Minnesota this fall. Evangeline Chen of Hangzhou, China, transferred to CSU as part of an international partnership between CSU and China's Southwest University. After graduation, Evangeline will attend graduate school. Caitlin Kraft of Windsor conducted research on chronic wasting disease, volunteered with Rescued Friends Animal Sanctuary, and worked as field team leader for the USDA Agricultural Research Service. Caitlin will continue performing research before applying to medical laboratory science programs. Zachary Sangeev Weishampayan of Tracy, California, was involved with student government, served as a learning assistant, and worked in a clinic, hospital, and research lab. Zachary will attend medical school to become a physician. Bree Ryuka of Elk River, Minnesota, conducted tuberculosis research, ran her second half marathon, and traveled around the Baltic states. Bree will continue her work at the Veterinary Diagnostics Lab in molecular diagnostics before pursuing a medical laboratory science program. Vanessa Sanchez of Merced, California, learned to ski and worked in Dr. Gentry Week's lab researching alternatives to antibiotics. After graduation, Vanessa will work for a few years before applying to graduate school. Carlos Juarez of Brighton worked in the microbial ecology group investigating antibiotic resistance in microbiomes of food production systems and worked with the USDA to develop microbial inoculants to increase crop yield. Carlos plans to work in biotech for a year before pursuing a PhD. Jordan Aragon of Fort Collins conducted research under Dr. Schenkel, interned at Cyvec Biotechnologies, and gained experience in service learning-oriented teaching in the CSU Extension 4-H STEM AmeriCorps program. Jordan will attend the Biomedical Sciences PhD program at the University of Virginia. Neil Retadal of Greeley conducted research in the Oliver and Gentry Weeks labs and participated in the iGEM synthetic biology program. Neil will gain work experience before continuing his education in synthetic biology. David Beaver of LaPorte conducted research in Dr. Ordway's lab and genetically engineered bacteriophages to target MRSA as part of the iGEM program. David will apply for a research assistant position at CSU before applying to graduate school. Bryn Pitago of Fort Collins worked full-time as a phlebotomist for UC Health and enjoyed fishing, swimming, reading, and spending time with friends and family. After graduation, Bryn will attend the Medical Laboratory Science program at Metro State University. Jordan Elizabeth Lesher of Cheyenne, Wyoming, conducted research in the Borley Lab, completed an honors thesis, and was a member of the CSU Marching Band and Pep Band, while also making many life-changing friends. Jordan plans to pursue a career in biotechnology. Madeline Cox of Houston, Texas, has participated in infectious disease research since her freshman year and traveled around the world during semester at sea her junior year. Madeline plans to pursue a master's in microbiology at CSU after graduation. Gabriela Labazo of Cody, Wyoming, conducted research in Dr. Belial and Dr. Salkid's lab and worked as a pastry chef at Little Bird Bake Shop. After graduation, Gabriela will attend the University of Washington to pursue a graduate degree in epidemiology. Sarah McWilliams of Littleton traveled across Korea and Japan and made many close friends at CSU. After graduation, Sarah will apply for medical technology positions or pursue medical laboratory science programs. Sarah Stischer of Longmont volunteered with Habitat for Humanity all 4 years and enjoyed playing intramural soccer. Sarah plans to seek a job in the microbiology field before pursuing more schooling. Madison Nasiba of Parker worked in several mycobacterium research labs at CSU, adopted her first puppy, and volunteered with Pets Forever. Madison plans to continue working at Summit Pathology before pursuing a career in medical lab science. Andrea Grace Thorpe of Boulder worked for 4 years in a biomaterials engineering lab, served as an undergraduate learning assistant, and is a member of the Alpha Data Delta Chi sorority. Andrea will work as a subject matter expert for the environmental monitoring program at Tolmar. Alexander James Pierce of Longmont served as co-music director for Ramblings a cappella, was a resident assistant in Braden Hall, and traveled to Germany and Prague with the University Chamber Choir. Alex will work for a year before continuing his education in microbiology. Case Rogers of Atlanta, Georgia, conducted research in the Stingline Lab, which included characterizing a seahorse virus. After graduation, he plans to continue conducting microbiology research. Aiden Patrick Keefe of San Marcos, California, volunteered with UC Health and worked as a medical scribe and recreation supervisor. After graduation, Aiden plans to attend graduate school and continue conducting prion research in Dr. Moreno's lab. Nicholas Hamby of Breckenridge found his passion in microbiology, gained biosafety level 3 certification, and started working at the CDC, studying virus ecology in vertebrate hosts. Nick will continue to gain experience in various fields after graduation. Zachary DeBoard of Rochester, New York, conducted research in Dr. Belisle's lab for 3 years. After graduation, Zach will move to Los Angeles to pursue a career in the biotech industry. Dinara Flores of Greeley was a first-generation student, worked as a student monitor at the Morgan Library, and conducted research on Mycobacterium tuberculosis in the Dobos lab. After graduation, Dinara will continue to work in the Dobos lab. Miranda Lynn Cochran of Inglewood was a member of the University Honors Program, worked at the Morgan Library, and served as a teaching assistant for the Medical Bacteriology Lab. After graduation, Miranda will pursue employment in a microbiology laboratory. Callan Kearns of Highlands Ranch worked as a community desk staff member for 4 years and conducted research in the Mycobacterial Research Lab while also adventuring profusely. Callan plans to gain work experience before continuing with his education. Valentine N. Matango of Kisii, Kenya, conducted research on Mycobacterium tuberculosis, worked as a nursing assistant, and completed an honors senior thesis on opportunistic pathogens. Valentine will pursue a career in healthcare. Ethiopia Niguse Balcha of Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, was a member of Africans United Club, worked in Dr. Kading's lab, and was a member of the National Institutes of Health Research Opportunities Program. Ethiopia plans to gain more research experience before attending graduate school. Kelly Nicole Peterson of San Diego worked as a vet assistant at Moore Animal Hospital, traveled through Europe with her best friend, and volunteered with equine assisted therapy programs. Kelly will attend Vanderbilt University's Medical Laboratory Science program. Okay. McKaylin Stokes of Colorado Springs worked at the CSU Health Network, received emergency medical technician certification, and worked as a tutor for human physiology. McKaylin will attend an accelerated nursing program at CSU Pueblo before pursuing a doctorate in nursing practice. McLean Panshin of Corvallis, Oregon, conducted trauma surgery research at Medical Center of the Rockies, studied abroad in Spain, and served as president of the Honor Student Association. McLean will serve in the Peace Corps in Peru for 2 years before pursuing medical school. Thomas Cady of Loveland worked in the clinical immunology lab, was part of Men in the Movement, and volunteered at a nursing facility. After graduation, Thomas will attend Sacred Heart's Medical Laboratory Science program in Spokane, Washington. Erin Danielle Markle of Ontario, California, conducted research in Dr. Foy's lab, was an active member of Alpha Phi Omega, and volunteered with Habitat for Humanity and the Fort Collins Rescue Mission. Aaron plans to move to Dublin for a year before pursuing graduate school. Cole Mills of Windsor worked as a research assistant in 2 labs, served as vice president of Theta Chi fraternity, and engaged as a tutor and teaching assistant. Cole plans to complete a master's degree in biomedical sciences and eventually attain a PhD in immuno-oncology. Bronwyn Eileen Meldrum of Fort Collins worked as a teaching assistant, played women's rugby, and was a member of CSU Snow Riders, and traveled to Uganda with Doctors Without Borders. After graduation, Bronwyn will volunteer with Doctors Without Borders before applying for PhD programs and medical school. Nicole Sutphin of Edwards, Colorado, conducted research on Mycobacterium avium and abscessus, worked as a teaching assistant, traveled to many new places, and completed her first half marathon. Nicole will attend the Medical Laboratory Science program at Metro State University. Rachel Kogel of Lakewood completed her first half marathon and enjoyed hiking in the Rocky Mountain National Park and the Horsetooth area. After graduation, Rachel plans on attending physician assistant school. Taylor C. Clarkson of Colorado Springs researched vector-borne disease and presented her research at local and national conferences, ran her first half marathon, and traveled all over the country. Taylor will begin a PhD program at UC Davis this fall. Shay Boyer of Prospect Heights, Illinois, worked in the Ryan Lab researching the gut microbiome, served as an officer for the club water polo team. Shay plans to gain more experience in microbiology research before applying to graduate programs. Nicholas Furlong of Madomide, Minnesota, conducted research in the Santangelo and Ebel labs. After graduation, Nick will travel to Japan before pursuing employment, and then plans to attend graduate school and attain his PhD. Alexis Robinson of Tucson, Arizona, worked in a virology research lab for 3 years, conducted field work in Colorado and Missouri, and wrote a first author research paper. Alexis will work before continuing her education in forensic science or virology. Jennifer Hicks of Grand Junction conducted research in the Animal Reproduction and Biotechnology Lab, completed an honors senior thesis, and will be awarded 2 bachelor's degrees today in microbiology and biomedical sciences. Jennifer will pursue a career in forensic science. Rutsu Marie Matsuzaki of Japan conducted research on flavivirus in the Geist lab and researched strategies for the prevention and treatment of Zika virus. Rutsuko plans to gain work experience before applying to medical laboratory science programs. Catherine Megan Cottle of Jacksonville, Florida, performed research on cancer therapies for humans and animals, was inducted into the National Society for Leadership and Success, and worked as a teaching assistant. Katie will work with wildlife veterinary team in South Africa before beginning graduate studies in microbiology. Robin Pierce of Erie worked in the Zabel Prion Research Lab, volunteered to educate middle school girls about science, and was a member of the Beta 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 Honor Society. After graduation, Robin plans to complete a 1-year medical laboratory science program. Catherine Randall of Pueblo conducted research on West Nile virus and Zika virus at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and volunteered at the Museum of Discovery. Catherine hopes to secure a job within her discipline and live a happy life. Please join me in congratulating all of our MIP graduates. Woo!
The following graduates are from the undergraduate neuroscience program. This program is jointly sponsored by the College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences and the College of Natural Sciences. Our graduates will be greeted by directors Dr. Carol Seeger and Dr. Philip Quirk. Congratulations will be offered by college and university officials. Davis Reina Guerra of Davis, California, served as president of the Neuroscience Student Organization, was a teaching assistant for cellular neurobiology, and conducted research on sensory substitution. Davis will pursue a master's degree in anatomical and physiological sciences. Isaac Babcock of Farmington, New Mexico, enjoyed rock climbing in Rocky Mountain National Park and was given the opportunity to serve as interim head of the Image Analysis Center for the Biochemistry Department. Isaac will complete his master's degree in biochemistry. Luis E. Gomez Welchner of Mexico City conducted research in the Brainwaves Research Laboratory, was secretary for the Neuroscience Student Organization, and a member of the National Honor Society in Neuroscience. Luis will pursue his master's degree at CSU. Dylan Glazer of San Bernardino, California, conducted research on prions and neurodegenerative diseases, wrote his thesis on Parkinson's disease, and worked part-time throughout college. Dylan will pursue his master's degree in neurobiology. Scott James Roberts of Highlands Ranch worked as a resident assistant, served as an officer in the Neuroscience Student Organization for 3 years, and was certified as an EMT. Scott plans to attend medical school. Benjamin Barry Fixman of Sammamish, Washington, conducted research on Alzheimer's disease and served as president of the Neuroscience Student Organization and vice president of the CSU Running Club. Ben will attend a fully funded MD PhD program at the University of Southern California. Devin T. Lewis of Durango found passion in his classes and the knowledge they provided and made some of the best friends of his life here. After graduation, Devin plans to either teach English in China or join the military before pursuing a graduate degree. Elijah Zorro Ullman of Superior served on the CSU Fraternity and Sorority Life Risk Management Task Force and conducted research in the Hornelli and Amberg labs. Elijah will attend Emory University in Georgia to obtain a PhD in pharmacology. Victoria Holscher of Aurora conducted research in Brainwaves Research Lab, worked as a nursing assistant, and served as an officer for the Neuroscience Student Organization. She plans on gaining clinical work experience before continuing her education to become a physician's assistant. Aya Ahmed of Fort Collins completed the undergraduate pre-health program at the CU Anschutz Medical Campus, served as an officer for the Neuroscience Student Organization, and conducted Parkinson's disease research. Aya plans to serve refugee populations while applying to medical school. Jordan Kerr of Evergreen worked as a research assistant and made a ton of friends from her neuroscience classes, working at the Ramskeller and playing Dungeons and Dragons every week. Jordan plans to work as a researcher before pursuing a PhD. Sally Leanne Kuhn of Fairbanks, Alaska, completed 2 services with AmeriCorps, worked as an optical technician, focusing on binocular vision dysfunctions, and worked in 2 cognitive psychology labs. Sally will take a gap year before pursuing a PhD in neuropsychology. Linnea Martha Elizabeth Johnson of Uppsala, Sweden, was a proud member of NeuroSci, the National Neuroscience Honor Society, and performed the hammer throw as part of the championship-winning CSU track and field team. Linnea will return to Sweden and seek full-time employment. Hannah Myers of Colorado Springs served as a student leader in crew campus ministry, studied abroad in Italy, and worked at Disney World. After graduation, Hannah will move to Los Angeles and eventually continue her education in behavioral sciences. Grant Michael Haley of Reno, Nevada, worked as an organic chemistry tutor, was a team treasurer for the CSU triathlon team, and conducted research on Alzheimer's disease. Grant plans on doing medical missions abroad and applying to medical school. Sorry, my cards are falling off. Natalia Darby Bracewell of Rapid City, South Dakota, conducted research in various labs, played intramural volleyball and inner tube water polo, and mentored students as a resident assistant. After graduation, Natalia will complete an internship at the Peak Center at Craig Hospital. Alexandra K. Bickett of Littleton performed her own research on brain processing, mentored local at-risk youth, served as the president of Gamma Beta Phi, and studied abroad in Zambia, Africa. Alex plans to move to Ecuador and become bilingual before attending medical school. Rebecca Barrington of Fort Collins worked as an operations intern for CSU football, volunteered at a local large animal veterinary hospital and horse rescue, and worked for a nutrition research group in the animal science department. Rebecca plans to pursue veterinary school. Jessica Meredith Coosbell of Longmont volunteered in the college ambassador program, served as an orientation leader, worked as a certified nursing assistant for Columbine Health, and gained research experience. Jess plans to attend medical school. Anna Jo Larrabee of Centennial conducted research at the CSU Veterinary Teaching Hospital, volunteered in CSU's virtual reality lab, assisted in a full cadaveric dissection, and worked as a rafting guide. Anna will work in an ophthalmic practice before continuing her education. Hannah L. Hooks of Reno, Nevada, was a research assistant in the Brainwaves Research Lab, studied abroad in Chile, and enjoyed playing intramural sports. Hannah will take time off to travel before seeking future employment and education. Jordan Nicole Bird of Elizabeth, Colorado, volunteered at Medical Center of the Rockies, worked at Center Avenue Health and Rehab, and volunteered for Little Shop of Physics and Brain Awareness Week. Jordan will attend nursing school to become a neurological nurse. Noah Ellis Barkley of Canyon Lake, California, volunteered at Poudre Valley Hospital in the emergency department and worked in the CRANS lab, conducting research on peptides and vanadium. After graduation, Noah will move to Massachusetts and pursue graduate programs. Cody Lee Weiss of Aurora worked in the diagnostic laboratory at CSU, joined a jiu-jitsu academy, and made some of his best memories here. Cody will work with troubled youth before pursuing graduate school to become a psychologist. John O'Donnell of Washington State enjoyed skiing, made lifelong friends, and researched the effects of opioids on circadian rhythms for his senior thesis. Jack is weighing his options for the near future. Sasha D. Boatco of Wadsworth, Illinois, was on the CSU synchronized swimming team, worked as a mermaid at the Denver Aquarium, and coached 2 local synchronized swimming teams. Sasha will continue coaching while obtaining nursing and veterinary technician certificates. Hannah Calcaterra of Flower Mound, Texas, is a member of the National Service Fraternity, Alpha Phi Omega, conducted research on the safety of silver nanoparticles in cleaning products, and learned to ski. Hannah will begin the Master in Public Health program this fall at CSU. Catherine Ann Wright of Littleton worked as a research assistant studying Parkinson's disease, was president of the Biomedical Club, and traveled to Nicaragua with Global Medical Brigades. Catherine will move to Oklahoma to gain work experience before applying to medical school. Tara Jo Hoffman of Greeley worked as a resident associate for Brookdale Memory Care, was an officer for Pride Center Organization, and a member of the University Honors Program. Tara will work as a certified nursing assistant before pursuing a graduate degree. Kelly Marie Hutchins of Lakewood volunteered in the emergency department at the Medical Center of the Rockies and worked in a microbiology lab. This summer, Kelly will complete an internship performing trauma research while applying to MD PhD programs. Jordan Dunlap of Leesburg, Virginia, conducted research in the Hordnelli Lab, served as the Leadership Development Chair of Alpha Phi Omega, and discovered her love for trail running. Jordan plans to work in a research lab before applying to medical school. Natalie Bales of Medford, Oregon, conducted research in neuroendocrinology and pediatric neuro-oncology, was president of Alpha Phi Omega, worked as a medical scribe and chemistry lab assistant, and was an alternative spring break leader. Natalie will continue to work as a medical scribe while applying to medical school. Bree Holmes of Denver worked as a cognitive brain trainer and began a career in neurofeedback. After graduation, Bree will take a break from school while exploring careers in neuroscience. Dominique Jordan Lene Rosendo of Denver volunteered with Triunfo Mentoring Program and the orthopedic unit at Poudre Valley Hospital, was a lead mentor with key communities, and participated in the Ghana Learn and Serve Study Abroad program. Dominique is currently pursuing medical school. Please join me in congratulating our neuroscience graduates.
On behalf of the entire College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences, I extend to all of our spring 2019 graduates, congratulations for a well done job. We share your sense of achievement, pride, and satisfaction on this significant accomplishment. Now I would like to pay tribute to a vital force in this university, a force of which each of you receiving a degree today is now part. I'm referring to the Colorado State University Alumni Association. I am pleased to call upon Dr. Judy Heiderscheid, a 3-time Colorado State alumnus, to induct our newest alumni.
Good morning. It was about, we'll say a little over 30 years ago, that I was sitting where you are, holding my diploma, or as you may have realized, your diploma cover, from this very same college that you are graduating from today. And I'll never forget how excited and proud I felt to finally get that diploma in my hand. But I also remember feeling a little sentimental and, to be honest, a little bit nervous about leaving this beautiful campus and jumping into real life, moving away from some of the greatest times of my life here at Colorado State, which Beth so beautifully stated in her graduation speech. It may be time for all of you to write that next chapter, tackle that next adventure, and live your purpose. Everyone sitting here has a different path and a different future, but whether you stay in Fort Collins or travel to the far ends of the world, you all have one important thing in common with each other, and more than a quarter million others out there who have come before you. You are all alumni of Colorado State. You join poets and scientists, teachers and engineers, food producers, care providers, and entrepreneurs. When you leave this campus, be assured your university will not leave you. No matter where your personal and professional journey take you, know that the CSU Alumni Association, your college, and your former professors and advisors will be here for you every step of the way. Based on personal experience, I promise you that the pride, excitement, and nervousness you're feeling right now will provide fuel for the road ahead. But eventually, those feelings will change. They'll deepen, mix with memories, and turn into nostalgia. As that happens, remember that this special place will always be your home, and we will always be your family. Like those rows of American elm trees on the Oval, you are rooted here. I would like to be the first to welcome you to the alumni family. Congratulations on a job well done. Go Rams!
Thank you, Judy. Our college is routinely rated one of the top 3 colleges in the country, if not the world. And there are a great many things that must come together to provide this level of excellence. 2 of the most critical elements are a combination of excellent students and the faculty that are the very best. I'd like to take a moment to ask all the faculty to rise and please be recognized. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to go a little off script for a moment, and we are almost done. Students, graduates, I should say, please rise. Now please raise your right hand with your imaginary glass of champagne. It might be a real one in a little bit. It's now time for us to toast and thank all of the family members, all of the friends, all of the people that have been so supportive of you through the many, many years that allowed you to be here today. To the family, friends, thank you for all that you've done to support these. Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you. I'm sure there'll be a real one coming up soon. The mission of our college is to improve the health of animals, people, and the planet through innovative and dedicated teaching, research, outreach, and clinical service. And through our actions, we empower the next generation of leaders to change the world. Let me repeat that very last part. We empower the next generation of leaders to change the world. Graduates, I hope you feel empowered and are excited about your future. We look forward to seeing the great things that you will do to help animals, people, and the planet. I'm going to ask all the members of the audience to please remain seated while the platform committee, the faculty, and the graduates exit to our alma mater. Thanks very much for joining us today.